Imagine being so close to someone from childhood that the bond between you can survive years, careers, and secrets. Imagine using that trust to pull off the largest cash heist in American history. Nearly $19 million stolen, not a single shot fired, and for a time, not a single clue left behind. This is the extraordinary true story of Marcus Allen and Eric Boyd, two friends who outsmarted the FBI, fooled the public, and shocked the world. You're about to hear how they planned it, how they pulled it off, and how it all fell apart. This is not fiction. This is not a movie. This is the real heist of the century. Make sure to watch this video to the very end, and if this story moves you, give the video a like. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, so you will never miss an upload. Now, let's dive into the story. Marcus Allen and Eric Boyd were born and raised in South Los Angeles, a neighborhood with as much grit as it had dreams. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, their days were filled with cracked sidewalks, corner stores, and sirens that blended into the night. Despite the chaos around them, Marcus and Eric formed a bond that was tighter than blood. Marcus was a charismatic one, smooth-talking, always with grin, and the kind of confidence that drew people to him like moths to a flame. Eric was quieter, more observant, with an analytical mind that leaned toward computers and numbers. They were opposites in many ways, but they complemented each other perfectly. They went to Crenshaw High, where they played on the same basketball team. They weren't the stars, but they played with heart. Teachers said they had potential, but the streets often whispered louder than report cards. They'd sit on Marcus's front porch eating sunflower seeds, dreaming of making it big, not through college or jobs, but something faster, bigger. Their favorite phrase? We're not built to be average. After high school, reality hit like a freight train. Marcus got a job moving cash at Dunbar Armored. It was hard, boring work, loading and unloading trucks, escorting vault runs. But it paid the bills. Eric, meanwhile, dove into community college and then a low-tier IT job downtown. He was brilliant with computers, programming, hacking, setting up secure networks. But he felt invisible, buried under cubicle life and broken coffee machines. They didn't talk much for a few years, until fate brought them together at a gas station. Eric was fixing a server at a nearby office. Marcus was filling up an armored truck. One handshake, one long look, and they both smiled. It was like they never left the porch. That night, over drinks, they vented about low wages, bills, being overlooked, and dreaming of more. Marcus said, "You know, I move millions every week, and nobody notices me." That sentence changed everything. At first, it was just talk. What if we took it? What if we got out? But the more they talked, the more real it became. Marcus began paying close attention at work. Security routines, camera angles, when the vault was open, which guards were lazy, which ones played favorites, which alarms were real, and which were just for show. Eric started sketching diagrams, reading about alarm systems, how to loop camera feeds, how to avoid motion sensors. It was all theoretical until they decided it wasn't. They started building a crew, people they trusted, people with clean records, a getaway driver who knew the city like his own heartbeat, a former warehouse guy who could lift half his body weight, a quiet guy with military experience. 5 in total. They bought burner phones, rented a storage unit, ran drills, timed each move down to the second. The plan? In and out in 30 minutes. No guns, no violence, no mistakes. They rehearsed everything. At night, in an abandoned parking lot, they practiced a vault entry with cardboard boxes simulating crates of cash. Eric built a mock security panel so they could practice hacking it. Marcus used insider knowledge to schedule the heist on a night when a cash shipment would be at its peak, September 12, 1997. The crew knew their roles. Marcus, vault access, floor coordination. Eric, disable alarms and surveillance. Driver, getaway specialist. Loader 1 and 2, haul and move cash. Everything had to be quiet, fast, and invisible. They made a pact. No spending big for 2 years. No communication after the job. And no bragging. Midnight. The city slept under a blanket of neon and fog. Marcus entered Dunbar like any other night. He swiped his badge, nodded at the sleepy guard. Routine. But tonight was different. At 12:17 a.m., Eric killed the security feed. The screens went black. Guards thought it was a glitch until Marcus pulled a weapon. It wasn't loaded, but it didn't need to be. In under 8 minutes, the team had bound the guards with zip ties and blacked-out goggles. No injuries. No sound. The vault opened. Marcus's heart pounded. Inside were stacks upon stacks of cash, bundled, wrapped, untraceable. They loaded it fast, tossing duffel bags onto dollies and rolling them to the truck parked in the alley. By 12:45, they were gone. Total take, $18.9 million. The truck drove under cover of darkness, switching vehicles 3 times before daybreak. The cash was split at a safe house and stashed in storage lockers, attics, and buried containers. Marcus quit his job 2 weeks later, said he was moving to Arizona to care for his mother. Eric took a leave from work, said he needed time to figure things out. They cut off contact, burned the phones, went dark. For a while it worked. When Dunbar called the FBI, chaos broke loose. How could nearly $19 million vanish without a trace? Agents combed the scene. No fingerprints. No DNA. No witnesses. The cameras showed nothing. It looked like an inside job, but they had no proof. For months, they interrogated employees, pulled files, searched backgrounds. Still nothing. The media caught wind and called it the perfect heist. Months passed. No arrests, but silence is loud when guilt echoes. One team member began cracking. He bought a new car, cash, then a house. Then he talked too much at a bar. Word got out. The FBI heard whispers. New leads emerged. That slip led to a bank audit, which uncovered unreported income. A red flag. They followed the money. A wiretap caught a coded conversation. Then another. Now the feds had names. The FBI went into overdrive, surveilling old friends, tapping phones, flipping informants. One guy, facing 20 years, flipped, told everything. Names, roles, locations. It started with Eric, picked up outside a gym. Then Marcus, caught at a friend's house. The others fell like dominoes. Calm at first, then panic, then silence. In court, they looked more like businessmen than criminals. Suits, ties, eyes forward. Marcus's voice trembled when he spoke. We wanted more. We were tired of being nothing. Eric broke down, talked about the rush, the silence, the loneliness. The courtroom was silent. They all went to prison. 10, 15, 20 years depending on their role. $18.9 million was stolen. $5 million was never found. Some say it's buried in the Mojave. Others say it's overseas. Maybe offshore. No one knows. The FBI changed their training after that heist. Dunbar changed protocols. But on the streets, Marcus and Eric became legends. Not because they stole money, but because, for a brief moment, they beat the system. 2 kids from Crenshaw. One dream. One plan. One unforgettable heist. Would you take the shot? Would you vanish into the night? Or would you spend the rest of your life wondering, what if? Thank you for watching this narrated true crime story. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the most daring cash heist in American history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible real-life stories. Stay curious, stay sharp, and always remember, the most unbelievable stories are the ones that really happened.